We knew this was going to come down to the wire. Is this a bit of a surprise since the offer from Boeing did offer considerable pay increases, but not what the workers wanted?
It's not a surprise given what we see is a 64% of members voting to reject this contract. So it still shows quite a large majority of workers not happy with the deal that was presented. And so for Boeing going forward, clearly it has to put more money onto the table in order to get this vote passed. And clearly by a sizable number that are rejecting this. And you have to look at what happens next. Clearly this is a risk for Boeing because it is that threat from a ratings downgrade, a downgrade to junk, given the prolonged nature of this industrial action, which is into its 6 weeks and longer. And so this is a blow because it's not able to produce the planes it wants, particularly of its cash cow 737 MAX, and therefore it's being deprived of revenue. And ultimately, the new CEO, Kelly cannot fix the wider things that he needs to do to get Boeing back on track ultimately, and that's a wholesale restructuring of this great aerospace company.
Yeah, you mentioned, right, they're losing about $100 million a day in lost revenue as this strike continues. Danny, what can Boeing do at this? What's next? I mean, in terms of how far apart the union is with the company, what are we talking about here right now? What can Boeing do next?
Well, it does show with this vote result that the company and the unions are still quite far apart, and this is despite the intervention from the Biden administration. And the risk is the longer this goes on, the longer this is out of the hands of the current Biden administration, potentially, as we fall into the election period. We're not too far away from that. And so Boeing clearly is going to have to offer a lot more money, but to what end it can get around the table with the unions quickly to up its offer. And because the rejection, as you mentioned, Steve, the pensions issue, that is not going away. Something that was changed in 2014. That would be a substantial amount of money that would be Boeing would be giving up on. And so it probably doesn't want to do that. But maybe more money on the wages side could bring this strike to a conclusion.
Danny, what does this mean longer term for Boeing? And obviously there's been the delays of the next generation 777X. Where does this put Boeing at a competitive disadvantage as it tries to obviously bring out its next generation aircraft?
I mean, the disadvantages are really that it still has a product, the 737 MAX, for example, which it can't produce on a fuller scale. We've heard Kelly talk about wanting to produce a new aircraft potentially to replace the 737 MAX. But Boeing and Kelly cannot focus on that whilst it still has this strike to contend with, whilst it has to restructure the entire business, particularly around just the commercial jet business as well. So there's a lot of headwinds here that the company is trying to manage overall, and particularly with the strike and the cost, the cash it's burning. This is a real distraction right here, right now.